Hello everyone and welcome to my 30-day tidying challenge. This is a challenge that I created a couple of years ago based on Marie Kondo's The Life-Changing Magic of Tidying Up. I did do this challenge and record these videos 2 years ago, so we're gonna jump right into the footage and I'm going to be back at the end of this video to provide you with a little update. On day 11, we're going to be tackling phones, cameras, headphones, cords and cables, batteries, and other electronics. Hubby and I have a surprising number of items in this category. I'm not going to be tidying his things, but the cables I will need his help with because while I could probably figure out what goes with what, I don't necessarily know what we still need to keep in our household. So I'm going to tidy but then have him go through what I think we don't need and he can go in and select what we need to keep. The other thing is hubby and I have a ton of camera gear from when we had a photography business as a side hustle. Thank goodness I'm still making good use of the camera gear through the YouTube channel, and of course I still take photos as well, but we have a lot of stuff that we've built up over the years. Because we have so much photography equipment and that is my main hobby, I think I'm going to reserve most of that for day 17 when I tackle hobby supplies and craft supplies. So today I'm going to be focusing in on all electronics except photography, and then down the road on day 17 I'm going to revisit all of my photography gear. I'm going to go back to my favorite spot in the condo for tidying. I was thinking about the energy in this space and I think it's because that area of the condo is more of my space. This area of the condo where the couch is and where the TV is kind of more of hubby's space, whereas my space is closer to the kitchen in kind of like the heart of the condo. So I think that's probably why that part of the condo has such good energy for me and why I'm able to really hone in on how I feel and start letting things go. Whereas this area of the condo, when I tidied on the couch, I was a little bit of a fish out of water. I just couldn't really get into the zone. When I was gathering the electronics and putting them in the tidying area, I noticed that Lulu was very interested in these items, much more so than any other items I've tidied thus far. I found this really interesting because in her book, Marie Kondo talks about electrical items having a certain scent to them, and perhaps Lulu detected that scent because she was very interested in this category of items. I'd say electronic equipment is definitely more functional and utilitarian for me. Through my appreciation of their usefulness, I would say they do spark joy. I'm going to look more at whether I currently use the item and whether I feel that I will use the item in the future as kind of the benchmark for whether or not I'm keeping something. The most challenging part of today was the electrical cords. There were a lot of cords that we still had that I wasn't sure what they did. Maybe we had decluttered something already, but we hadn't decluttered the associated cord, similar to all of those straps that I had for bras and dresses. I really worked on grouping light cords together, and where we had multiple cords, I wanted to let some go, but I found myself hanging on. We have a rabbit and he tends to love munching on cords. We do have measures to keep the cords away from him and to keep him away from the cords, but on occasion he does get through to one, so if he does bite through a cord, I want to have some backups just in case. I pretty much ended up keeping all the cords except for the ones that we were pretty sure we wouldn't need anymore. Certain cables and things for technology that's outdated. I did try to organize everything better. My elastic bands to kind of group the cords together. It felt really good to sort out the cord situation. I also sorted out the hard drive situation. Hubby and I have a bunch of old hard drives, and in the past I have labeled them all, grouped them into their own separate boxes. So I have old legacy hard drives that we don't really use anymore in one box, and then I've got another box with hard drives that are currently in use. I find that my computer hard drives are such a reflection of my mental state, and now knowing that everything is organized, I feel my mind is much more clear, and it's almost like I've downloaded or offloaded all of this mental clutter because my hard drives are organized. I don't know if that makes any sense. I feel the same way when I organize email. I was really happy to be done done with electronics. This was a huge mental hurdle for me, not only because of the mental clutter that I had, but also because I don't find this category of items exciting at all. This was definitely a chore for me and not a whole lot of fun. That is it for the footage from day 11 of the 30-day tidying challenge. I'm back as promised with a little update. The situation with electronics is, I would say, a little bit better 2 years later, but my husband is still in charge of this category of items. So we have had probably a little bit of ballooning in this area, although I don't see it that much because he tucks things away into his storage areas. But for the parts that I can see and that I interact with, cord organization is definitely a lot better. It's not exactly how I would like it to be because it turns out that using elastics to tie up your cords is not a good idea at all, because the elastics get dried out and then they snap and then the cord just kind of opens up again. So what I've done is I've bought these Velcro strips just from Amazon. They come in various sizes, and these have been really good at keeping our cords together nice and organized. Even when something is plugged in, I like to keep the cord kind of like wrapped up so the cord isn't all over the place. So that has helped a lot, but I still, as you can see, have a lot of Velcro strips because I haven't gone through and reorganized all of the cords. The other little update that I wanted to mention is that I am so thankful to my past self for labeling those hard drives. When we said goodbye to Truffle over the holidays last year, I wanted to put together a little photo montage of him, much easier than I expected it to be to find the old photos of him. And I was able to do a photo montage that was in chronological order. So especially when looking back at this video and being reminded by what a struggle it was to go through the tidying challenge, but I still had that drive to organize and label things, that makes me feel like it's worth it to put in the effort, because my future self down the road will probably appreciate it. So that is going to be it for day 11. Thank you all so much for watching this video. I will be back tomorrow for day 12, where we continue into the Komono category. Tomorrow we are going to be tackling skincare, makeup bags, and nail polish. Thank you all so much for watching. I will be back tomorrow with the video for day 12. Until then, please take care and bye for now.